This movie from the late 1930s presents a very self-motivated woman that will convince you to chase your dreams. Welcome to NWTV7. My name is David Thornton.
And my name is Colton Fishback. This afternoon we will feature a classic movie, A Star is Born. A Star is Born was filmed in 1937. It was directed by William A. Wellman. This romantic drama is the original film to the 2018 film starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. The 1937 film stars Janet Gaynor and Frederick March.
Before we dive into the movie, the two of us will bring a special guest in and we'll talk about the great film and compare it to the other great film starred in 2018 featuring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. My name's David Thornton.
And I'm Colton Fishback.
And we're reviewing a perfect movie, A Star is Born, filmed in 1937. Today we have a special guest with us named Eric Livingston. Eric, can you give us a few little seconds of how you felt about A Star is Born?
Well, you know, it was an old Hollywood movie, and I kind of like the look old Hollywood had. It's the architecture, how people act, and I've always been interested in that sort of stuff.
Yeah, was this ever your first old movie? Because for me, that was the first ever old movie that I've ever watched, old black and white. But even though we rewatched it and they had it in color, was this your first ever black and white movie?
Well, you know what? It is the first old movie I've watched, but it hasn't been the first old timey stuff I've seen before. My dad bought the Three Stooges, original black and white on disc. And we would watch it, and it was funny.
That's cool. So, with A Star is Born, there's obviously the lady who wants the Hollywood dream. She wants everything. She wants the fame, the fortune, but she doesn't really realize she has to work for it. So, her parents kind of get on her back and stuff like that. They kind of don't believe her, but she has a great grandmother who's very supportive and who, is with her dreams and wants to see her succeed in every which way. And Colton, you told me earlier that you loved that relationship that she had with her grandmother, and you can go into depth with the characters and who they are.
Yeah, with her grandmother, that's a scene that I really enjoyed, is because that's how you see some grandmothers nowadays, is whenever their parents are very doubtful of the children, the grandmother steps in and gives encouraging words. You know, she ends up giving her money just to go to Hollywood, to make her dream. She said, do that for you and only you. I think that's really cool. That was a scene that I really enjoyed. So, hearing a grandmother have encouraging words for someone like that.
Personally, with movies like these, I always enjoy them because myself, that's my dream, is just drop everything and go to Hollywood.
Just stop everything you're doing.
Yeah, and I actually almost did as a kid. I went to child auditions. I met Mr. Mosby from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I was scouted by the John Casablanca Modeling and Acting Company.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't able to do that, unfortunately.
That would have been so cool.
Dude, it would have. Who knows? I could have been on Disney Channel by now.
Hey, yeah, you could have been your own little film.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've never met any celebrities to that point, but I've seen Will Smith from afar in Los Angeles, which was probably the most amazing thing ever.
How do you know it was Will Smith though?
Because when you know Will Smith, you know Will Smith. Everybody knows Will Smith, and he had a whole crowd around him too. So I knew
okay.
I was like, who is that? A lot of people were screaming, taking pictures.
Yeah, I would just be like, Will Smith, I'm your biggest fan.
Oh man, yeah. But talking about actors and celebrities, the actors in this show were Lester and and what was the other actor's
Norman
name?
Maine.
Norman Maine. Those were the two actors from this movie. And if you guys know, when I first said A Star is Born, you know that there's a 2018 film starring Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, right? And those two did that film very well, and that did really good in the box office and made a lot of numbers too. So this A Star is Born, the 37 film, is the original to the 2018. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. We all knew that too and stuff. So when we first watched this, we did get a little glimpse to what the 2018 feature was. So the 2013 one was based off actors, and obviously the 2018 version was based off singers. So how did you guys like the two different versions of the movies?
Well, I think it speaks more on modern times and back then. Back then, if you were an actor, it was more famous. But nowadays, I think musicians and musical artists get more clout
Yeah.
I mean,
that is true. Everyone follows, everyone listens.
Everyone knows what everyone's doing with like their favorite artists.
Social
like,
media.
Especially since who was the rapper that just got out of prison?
Bobby Shmurda.
That's it. They have been up to date with him.
Up to date. Like I see something every month.
Someone recorded him hugging his mom when he got picked up in a jet. I actually just read this right outside. So
it's like at that time being an actor was the most popular thing, and at this time now in 2018 being a singer is probably the most popular thing. Mm-hmm. So I like how the movie transitioned to popularity throughout the century.
And I actually haven't watched the 2018 film yet. The 1937 original film I really enjoyed, but the 2018 film with Lady Gaga, I think that's really cool that they can add like a singer, like like a great musician like that. She's known for her music, and I think she, I'm sure she's a pretty good actor for that.
She was.
I've always loved like seeing musicians be in movies.
Yeah, see like their diversity and different acting styles. Yeah, I love that too. So, Colton, what else did you think that you liked about the movie?
I just liked how she was able to be herself. I mean, even though whenever she went to Hollywood and they, she said her name, that Esther Blodgett, and they didn't think that'd be okay, so that she ended up having to change her name to Vicky Lester.
Vicky
Lester was it, and she went with it. And I thought that was pretty cool. But she was able to just be herself instead of just change. Besides changing her name, she was able to be herself. She was a country or farm town girl, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said you went to an audition. What if you would have made it and they would have made you change your name? How would you feel about that?
When I was a kid, I probably would. Like, I'd have a stage name. Mm-hmm. But now, no. It's my name. I want people to know who I am.
Exactly. That's how I felt when they did that, because they asked her where she was from, and they told her, or she told them, and they weren't liking it, so they would put in like a different, like false little enjoyable, like a place that she was from that would grab attention and stuff like that. I wouldn't like that either. I'd want my true self out there just like that.
I don't think they would change my last name though, Livingston, because there have been actors in Hollywood with Livingston, and there's producers and directors, like Family Guy. If you look on like the screens, it will say something Livingston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't noticed that. So Livingston's a popular name.
It's. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you were kind of born for the film life.
Guess.
So
The Star Was Born. Yeah.
A Star Was Born. That's perfect. So was there anything else, Colton, other than the films? What about Norman Maine? How did you feel about him as a kid?
With Norman Maine, he's a great actor. The first scene that they see him in, and when his picture's taken, and he starts a fight. But I thought that, and so I kind of see that it shows that he's like an aggressive guy, I guess, because he's known for his flight falling apart. Or he was
he was at the top of the
he was at the top of the chain,
and he
but
felt
he was
like
slowly
nothing
falling.
could stop him. Then he had like a drinking problem and stuff, and he acted out.
And I think that correlates pretty well with some other movie actors or musicians,
like Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect
example.
Like Britney Spears,
hit
also
movie
too. Like,
after hit movie.
Yeah.
And then, she tried to make a comeback, but it didn't stick. Just so much happened. Yeah. And it's so important in show business, like your image. And that's what a lot of the movie did, especially that Vicky Lester.
Yeah.
That whole thing, they want to change her look.
Or your reputation.
Everything.
Or your reputation.
Exactly.
You're known for your reputation. So if you make a mistake or you slip up, that's where your career can go downhill from there.
Then where I felt where the movie had like the most bulk is when Vicky Lester was getting to her fame. She won an Academy Award, right?
Yes.
Then her fame just started growing. She was getting better and better parts and more leads. Then Norman Maine, his appearance in movies was going down as well. Then he started drinking more. His habits started growing more, and he started losing control of like where he was, and even his agent Oliver was telling him stuff like that hey, your career is going down, and that. What was your guys' feelings in those moments?
It's a hard truth, but that's show business.
It is, yeah.
Not everyone's young and perfect forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Except, like, Jennifer Aniston. Oh my gosh, man. Jennifer Aniston. She hasn't been in any movies, though, so maybe I just contradicted myself.
Well, yeah, she does get herself out there through popularity.
Jennifer Aniston is definitely one of the all-time greats. But no, with Oliver and Norman, their relationship, I think that's really cool because, Oliver was there for Norman whenever he was struggling and going through it, and he was trying to, to keep him in check, basically. And I think you can correlate that or relate that with some friends if you have like a friend like that in real life, you know, to keep you in check and, you know, keep you on path and, you know, do the right things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool to have Oliver in there.
And Oliver was also there for Vicky too, as well, going through her career and stuff like that. So he never swayed one way or the other way. He was straight even with both of them, being truthful and like that. So when we get to the ending, we won't spoil it. Try to, in your best way, to not spoil it. But we knew things were getting kind of concerning. We knew things were getting really like intense. Vicky was having a great career. Norman's career was going down. We didn't know. We wanted to root for Vicky, but then Norman's career was just going down, and we felt sorry for him. So when the ending came, how did you guys feel about that? Were you guys expecting that? We'll start with you, Eric.
There's a thing you have to consider because, again, this was the 1937 version. And back in that time, you know, if your wife is more successful than you, then it's such a social stigma on that person. So that's another thing we gotta consider when his career was going down like that.
Yeah.
So
he didn't feel like he was the man anymore,
exactly,
the man of the house anymore, or was in control. Really, that was the biggest thing too. What do you feel about that, Colton? What was your take on that?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it was kind of like it was surprising to me. But like, yeah, that's just, you know, how life goes. You know, if one person doesn't get enough attention, then, you know, their like career goes downhill, and that's what they're thinking, and bad thoughts like that. But no, I mean, I liked the ending in a way. It had a good ending with Vicky Lester.
My favorite part about that is the foreshadowing in the beginning of the film where they first got together. Then he drops Vicky off to her place. Then he says, "I just want one more look." Then right before his last words were, "I want one more look," as they walk away. I felt like that was a very impactful, that was a very like cool thing of the moment. Like when you think of those words, you tag that with that movie. And what I love about the 2018 version is they do that in their own way too. So I suggest if you guys like that, watch the 1937 film, then watch the 2018 film. It's a great comparison, and it's a wonderful film for that. And Colton, is there anything else you wanted to add? Any other topics you wanted to say about?
No, nothing. Nothing like that.
Well, Eric, it was great having you. We loved you as a guest, and I hope you guys love the movie A Star Is Born 1937 film.